Now we put out a snap poll on this subject, and we asked a fixed sample who we surveyed through the afternoon and through the early part of the day today, and we asked them that in a historic Supreme Court verdict, the court has said, and I put the results out on our screen right now. We said in this historic verdict, it has said that citizens need to have a right to reject as in the elections. Now, this means that the next time you go out to vote, if you don't like any of the candidates, that there will be an option you have to reject. And the answers are very, very interesting. Do you support the decision? Do you think voters who would not go out to vote will now start voting? 81%. Let's put out the results here as I introduce our panelists. Sanjay Jha stays on. Mohandas Pai representing a citizen voice tonight. Aam Aadmi Party, Shazia Ilmi. Satyapal Jain heads the legal cell of the BJP. Devesh Thakur represents the JDU point of view. Thank you very much. And TSR Subramaniam, former cabinet secretary and activist. The second answer is what I find most interesting. The question was, after the verdict, do you think the voters who would not go to vote because of a dislike for all the candidates would now start voting? 81% say yes. That's a magical number, isn't it, Mohandas Pai? It tells you that there are a lot of people out there who would potentially be disenchanted, would say, I don't feel enthused to go out and vote at all. But just to reject, to say, I hate the political representatives who are out there today, and it is my choice to reject all of you, even if it gives them a perverse pleasure to reject, is an important right they want to exercise. Mohandas Pai, why are the political parties looking so cautious then about this?
No, Arnab, the middle class has always said that they don't find the candidates good enough to vote, and they wanted to have this, and the reason they did not go out and vote was this option not available. Now, of course, this option is available, and it will send a clear signal about the voting on all the candidates, and the majority of votes are for people whom they don't like. It will be a slap on the political face. So I think the political parties are very circumspect because now they will know that more and more people will come to vote, and if they vote, they may not press this button, they may press a button for a candidate of their choice because their excuse for not voting has been taken away. So I think the voting is going to be much closer. There will be a great number of people who will press this button that I don't like any candidate, but I think political parties are certainly in a very unenvious position because of this. I think they don't like it anymore.
What political parties do always, when they realize they are cornered by public opinion, it's a transparent process they now follow. They first say, it's a good idea, we welcome it. And then they say, but there are certain processes we want it to go through. And then they say, we'll put it through certain committees. We are in the process of formulating those committees. If you express impatience at the degree and the nature of reform, they say, well, you know what? This is government. And if you challenge them any further, then others will say, if we are elected and you are not, so you better keep quiet and shut up, and we have the right to do what exactly we want to do. So I know this has been the response. And tonight, I would like to say, Satyapal Jain, with great respect to you, even the BJP is buying time. If the BJP is sincere, or the Congress is sincere, then why don't you have an ordinance on this? I can assure you the whole nation will support you. Have an ordinance on this, Satyapal Jain. Why not?
Ordinance on what?
Ordinance to introduce the right to reject people we don't like.
No.
Why no?
Swami, please try to appreciate. There is no need of any ordinance, there is no need of any new act. The Supreme Court in its judgment has declared Rule 41, Sub-Rule 2 and 3, and Rule 49O, which earlier permitted a voter to give a form in writing that I don't want to vote, which amounted to disclosing his secrecy and identity. Now Supreme Court has gone a step further, which is a welcome step. It says, now we direct the Election Commission to, instead of relying on Rule 1 and 2, you make a provision in the EVM itself, and the next column after the column of all the candidates, there will be a column, there will be a button that I do not want to vote for any of the candidates. Nothing more is required. This judgment stands implemented from today. It's a direction to the Election Commission of India. So no need of any ordinance, no need of any act. It stands implemented, and any election which now will be held after this judgment, the Election Commission...
So the Delhi election, the Madhya Pradesh election, one second. TSR, Shazia Ilmi, so therefore the state elections will have an option to reject? The upcoming state elections in December?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. This is it will start from October, November. It will start right away, and essentially the procedure will be very, very simple. All you need is to have one more button. If there are 10 candidates, you have provision for the 11th button, which will say, which is for none. Arnab, can I add one more point here?
Yeah, go ahead. Please continue.
This may appear a fairly simple, small move. I think the significance of this is that we are now on the path of electoral reforms. After a long time, the first reform has started, and the entire corruption in India can be traced to our electoral system, and reform of that is going to dramatically change the corruption system in India, and we need 20 or 25 reforms. Don't forget that the drama that we saw today, the Bollywood we saw today, also means two reforms have come today.
What Bollywood?
Neither BJP nor Congress can hit, neither Congress nor BJP can attack the 2-year conviction thing anymore.
Yeah.
And this has come, which is therefore red letter day. I was a very pessimistic person. Don't expect results from this tomorrow.
No, I don't.
This will work itself through the system over a period of years. You'll find the results.
I'm not expecting results tomorrow, but I think it is heartening that the Supreme Court has said this. Yet I want to place on record as I go to Shazia Elmi, and I'm not saying this to make it political. The fact is, Shazia, the Manmohan Singh government was told by the Election Commission twice, and the BJP government, Vajpayee, also was told by the Election Commission once, please bring in the right to reject. And today you see both Sanjay Jha and Satyapal Jain are putting up what I may say a rather fake act that we are for this, because they don't want to lose the support of people who feel that they would like to reject both the Congress and the BJP. But the fact is, Shazia, both Vajpayee and Manmohan Singh sat on this whole proposal of the Election Commission for the right to reject until a petition had to be filed and the apex court had to intervene.
True. Well, absolutely, Arnab, and you can understand why. If you see the selection of candidates, the whole process in all the parties, there is no internal democracy. It is an opaque process. 1/3 of Indian parliamentarians are there because of the law of dynastic succession. They're there because of their last names. They're hereditary MPs. And the other 1/3, and I'm sure if you have a Venn diagram, many of them would, they would come in the same area. And another 1/3, if you look at, have criminal records against them. Now, look at the people. They have to go and vote between two parties, or two parties which are part of a larger, two big alliances, NDA and UPA. And they don't have a choice in the matter. They're stuck with the same candidates. This will put pressure on the parties to find meritorious candidates. Candidates who are deserving. Candidates who will be more appealing to the voters. This is giving power. This is empowering the voter to have a choice in the matter. Yeah, but will it
change the way people do politics? For example, the JDU, and it's, look at the JDU. Look at the JDU, look at Devesh Thakur's party. 58 out of Devesh Thakur's party's 118 MLAs have criminal cases before them. 58 out of 180. How much is that? About 55–60% are all criminal cases against them. Of these 58, Devesh Thakur, 43 have serious criminal cases. Now, I'll tell you the beautiful statistic. Beautiful statistic. Out of these 43, 23 have murder charges. And 35 have attempt to murder charges. No, you're laughing, but you're smiling, but I think that's a very tragic statistic I read out. And that's why we need the right to reject.
Well, Arnab, as far as we are concerned, as far as JDU is concerned, we welcome this right to reject as an idea, definitely.
No, what do you mean idea?
There's no doubt about it.
See, that's the...
I just want to know as to how good you can put it into practice.
Why?
I just want to know how good you can put it into practice. Because as I just saw one of your clippings, and I agree with that, Respected Sitaram Yechuri came on the clip and he did say, now suppose more than 50–60% of the people opt for that button which says
right to reject.
Right to reject. We don't want
by the way, I just want to say I'm going to take some callers now. In 2 minutes. We're going to open up to calls.
So the winner from the next 40%.
Yeah.
So the next winner from the next 40% is the one who is otherwise have been rejected by 60% of the people from that constituency.
So what do you saying? Are you Devesh Thakur in the communally polarized politics of Uttar Pradesh, let me place on record that no political party, he wins for 50% of the vote. So you know why the BJP and the Samajwadi Party are trying to polarize the situation there, so that 4-5% more of the vote gets polarized. They get that 4-5%, they get 23-24%, and then they win the election. So please don't tell me that people representing MLAs and MPs are all getting 50% of the vote. They are not. It's a divided vote anyway. But
no, but that's what you are saying. That's what you are saying. That
I think you are quibbling.
That's what you are saying. That most of the people will exercise that vote.
I think you are quibbling.
That's what you are saying. That most of the people might exercise that vote.
What I'm saying tonight is this.
That's what you
I'm saying tonight is this. This is the grand conspiracy between you and the Congress and the BJP. All of you will say great idea, great idea, great idea.
You might say so. You have the liberty to say so. That does not make it the truth, Arnab.
Well,
that does not make it the truth. You have the liberty to say so.
No, it is the truth. It is the truth.
Not necessarily what you say is the truth.
No, it is the truth. It is the truth because in 2001 and 2004.
I will like to give reply to this argument.
Okay.
See, two things more are required to be done now. Number one, we have to move now for compulsory voting, because unless all voters come, you can't have the true verdict.
Agreed, 100%.
The point which has been raised
agreed,
by
100%.
Mr. Sitaram Yachuri has raised a point that in case somebody, the highest percentage of votes getting candidate is less than the negative voting.
Yeah.
I personally think that if the negative voting is more than the candidate, the election should be cancelled and there should be repolling in that constituency.
No, I take it, but you know, I find this quibbling. You know, what happens is, Mohandas Pai, is that what are all these political parties doing? I know what they'll do. They'll say, let's take it up as an issue. Let us form a committee. If there's too much public pressure, put it up in cabinet, take it to a standing committee. Let's freeze it for the next decade. I don't think, I'll take a few callers. I can tell you people are restless. They're not willing to wait a decade. And the fact is, Mohandas Pai, this is what the Supreme Court has done. Not the Congress party sat on it. Manmohan Singh refused to act on it. Our Prime Minister refused to act on it for the last 9 years.
That's a fact of life. That's a sad fact, Arnab. That's a sad fact, Arnab. I think all of them want to game the system. All of them want to play the system. When they come on your channel, they support the Supreme Court decision. When they go to Parliament, somebody will do an amendment to amend the law to make sure that this act is nullified.
Exactly.
For example, we saw the Supreme Court decision about people getting convicted, not being made a member of Parliament. They all came on TV and said this is good, but they go back to Parliament and try to change the law, and now they passed an ordinance. And thankfully, Rahul Gandhi understood the impact of this and possibly the anger of the young people and made this statement, and now it's been taken back. This is hypocrisy at work. We need much more remarks, but I think what has happened is good.
No, of course it is. But Sanjay Jha wanted to say something there. Sanjay, before you say anything, can you tell us why your Prime Minister, who says that I want to clean up politics, etc., I want to introduce transparency in politics, why, just curious to ask you, why for 9 years did you sit on the Election Commission request? 9 years. Why?
Arnab, let me tell you no, it's a very simple answer, and the simple answer is that electoral reforms also required political consensus, and this is something that we cannot have unilaterally pushed it through. I'm glad it's happened. We welcome this decision, and please don't be cynical enough to dismiss this as just a tokenism that I'm making on your channel.
Shazia is not convinced.
All I would like to say is,
no, 1 second. Who was blocking you? Who was blocking you? No, who was blocking you? Who was blocking you?
Without the right to repolling.
No, 1 second.
Let that happen.
Sorry? Please. In 2004, the Election Commission T.S. Krishnamurthy then wrote to the Prime Minister, and he said the Commission has received proposals from a very large number of individuals and organizations that there should be a provision enabling voter to reject candidates in the constituency. This was a specific proposal. So first of all, you are saying electoral reforms, lack of political consensus. The argument does not even fly here. We are not talking about broad sweeping electoral reforms. We are speaking of very specific provision. TSR Subramaniam is not convinced either, neither is Shazia. TSR Subramaniam. TSR Subramaniam first.
I'm not convinced because we have not reached political consensus on Lokpal for the last 45 years. I don't think we'll reach political consensus in the next 50 years. So I don't think the political community is keen on any reforms whatever relating to, we saw what happened in RTI. We saw what happened in. So therefore, because sadly, all
the RTI is a reality, Mr. Subramaniam.
have to come only through the court today. Only through the court today. Number one, and give me one more minute. Arnab, give me one more minute. That the credit now has to go. The combination of the following: RTI, Channel U, the Supreme Court, and the media and public opinion. These are forcing the change now. And I see a definite change.
No, but the political parties are scared. The political parties are scared. I'll tell you why.
Yes. Arnab, they will not agree. It has to be rammed through.
No, give me a sentence to finish what I started.
No. If they will not agree, then let me ask you, Shazia, if you do also believe they won't agree, and if they won't agree, then what are all these political party representatives, Devesh Thakur, Satyapal Jain and Sanjay Jha doing on the program tonight in your view, Shazia? Are they just pretending to agree?
Because the
are they putting up an act? Is that what you're saying?
The fact of the matter is the beneficiaries of the system, they don't want to challenge this. The status quo suits them, so and they benefit from it. So this is their politics. They concentrate on vote bank politics. They pass masters in the game of winning elections. They use caste and communal lines to get votes. But when it comes to putting any kind of checks and balances on themselves, like coming under RTI, like following the Supreme Court order on debarring criminal candidates with criminal backgrounds, as well as, not allowing people with any tainted backgrounds to be there, they don't let that happen.
From Hosur, the first caller.
Resist the wild allegations that Shazia is making.
From Hosur, the first caller is from Hosur.
Well, if you need any, excuse me, Shazia Almi, if you need any evidence of how the Congress party is approaching transparency, you heard Mr. Rahul Gandhi today. And let me also tell you that in terms of transparency, the kind of regulations that we have bought during our 9 years is fairly extraordinary. I'm glad that Mr. Subramaniam agreed to the Right to Information Act. Please, for God's sake, don't be so cynical.
Please go ahead, Satyapal Jain. Yes, go ahead, and then the first caller. Mr. Jain.
No, he says that the best example of the transparency, the way Congress is working, is clear from the statement of Mr. Rahul Gandhi today. May I ask him, what was Rahul Gandhi doing till yesterday? Was he not aware of this amendment? Was he not aware of the ordinance? Was he not in Parliament when your own government introduced a bill for that purpose? What was he doing there? Now, since you have seen the public opinion, you have seen
Mr. Jain, we have already answered this. I don't know what you have been doing all day long. We have already answered this.
The right to reject.
Calling your 3 ministers to explain the urgency.
The right to reject.
And you yourself had been advocating
the right to reject.
It was required, it was urgent.
Keep in mind one thing.
You see, and today suddenly you take a somersault.
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
No, Rahul Gandhi is right.
Political
the entire
parties,
cabinet, including Manmohan Singh, including everybody, according to Mr. Rahul Gandhi, they were doing something.
I can see the BJP is very rational.
Parties,
I'm sorry, Arnab, for a slight divergence. Can you ask Mr. Satyapal Jain about a Babu Bhai Bogaria, who is there in Mr. Narendra Modi's cabinet, although he's been convicted of corruption for 54 crores. Please ask him to answer that question before he starts his self-righteous stuff. Relax. I asked you a question, give me an answer.
Who has been accused in the Colgate scam? Will you reply to that?
The impact of this is so extreme. The impact of this is so extreme, and I think it's slightly patronizing to say one thing, that this is a good idea. It's not just a good idea. I say this with absolute conviction that just as the people of India were absolutely 100% sure that they will not allow the so-called fake political consensus on the ordinance, push this ordinance to allow criminals in politics too, I can say with absolute conviction that the people of India will not allow this opportunity to reject candidates who are communal, corrupt, casteist, hypocritical, nepotistic, to allow to be elected. Our first caller from Hosur is Mr. Sivaswamy, I think. Mr. Sivaswamy, good evening. This is Arnab here.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Mr. Arnab.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yesterday I was waiting for the Maruf Raza, what I wanted to say, Maruf was said regarding the Pakistan talk. Today I want to ask only one question to all the politicians. Are they the masters of the people of India, or we are the masters for them? Please ask them to explain it. If they are the slaves for us, they have to abide by the law of Supreme Court which has passed. That's all. Thank you very much.
Sivaswamy, don't. Thank you very much. I'll get another caller come in. Let's take a second caller. Hear the voices tonight. People tonight are reclaiming their right to have a stake in the way this government is run. Mohandas Pai, just before I go to our next call, are you in any doubt today that what Rahul Gandhi has done there today is because he is aware that public opinion is against the ordinance? Similarly, public opinion is for the right to reject.
And see how strange it is, Arnab, that Rahul Gandhi listened to public opinion rather late in the day and made the statement and overruled the cabinet of the government of India. The whole cabinet has become a bunch of people who have no power. Their decision of the cabinet has been overruled by one single individual who is a member of parliament, but who listens to the people of this country.
Well, I hope the government also listens to the people of this country when Manmohan Singh meets Nawaz Sharif tomorrow, and Manmohan Singh realizes the way the people of this country are angry there about his, puppy chuppies and candy floss diplomacy, which he may be attempting to do once again with Nawaz Sharif. Our next caller this evening is Pawan, and Pawan is calling in from Pune. Yes, go ahead. And I'm getting a lot of messages. We'll take a few more callers. Pawan. Good evening, Pawan.
Yeah, hey, Arnab. I'm glad to hear from you. And really, I love your show a lot. You really take the spirit of people, really. And you're doing a good job, really. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm actually also glad to see people like Shazia Ilmi, who is there currently, because now with this Aam Aadmi Party, a new front has opened for progressive politics to come in. So I think that's pretty good too. But my point of view is, firstly and foremostly, people will lose faith in the system when they have a right to reject, where our representatives and who we want to elect, and we cannot, we see that they are tainted or something like that, and then we just put right to reject. So to me, the only thing that's a failure in the system, democratic system that we have out here, that's the first thing. And the second thing is that, will it not give a paradigm shift where think tanks within the political parties will start thinking about whom do they feel within their constituencies? And given that
it's a very good point you make there, Pawan. You make 2 points out there. I'd like to one of those who's supporting this, Mr. C.S.R. Subramaniam raised his hand out there. What the point being made by our caller is will it result in too much cynicism? Will people, instead of looking for the good points among those who are out there, will they only exercise the choice as more an act of defiance? What do you think? No,
Arnab. I think the thrust of the point was that if we have the right to reject, shouldn't you have the right to write in union, which is available in the US and elsewhere? I think this is the first step today. We are now going slowly to move to write in, right to recall, referendum. All of these are going to come in course of time. We'll also have the system, if the total number of rejections equal the highest number, then the whole, if it be countermanded, it won't be first. All these are going to come in course of time. Don't be in a hurry. We have now started the game.
That's a good point. I think
baby steps.
Romit from New Delhi is our next caller. Romit, good evening.
Good evening, Arnab. I just don't want to talk about BJP or Congress.
Yes.
I'm just talking about Aam Aadmi Party, which asks for holistic about their own ideas. I want to know the worst form of non-adherence to Lokpal has been done in Gujarat. I hope Shazia Ilmi agrees to that. Now, why has not our friend Kejriwal, who is my college mate, has not gone to Gujarat? Is he scared of getting fake encounter? Or our friend, our great man who did all this honation in Delhi, Hazare, not gone to Ahmedabad? Is he afraid of Nathuram Godse syndrome?
Well, I think we're slightly straying there, but I'll let Shazia take that. I'll take one more call. You're slightly straying there. Romit, that's a good point you make. It's fairly provocative, but it's slightly straying away from the subject, though it got a few laughs there from both the Congress and the BJP, interestingly. Yes, Shazia.
Nevertheless.
No, it's a reality.
There are countless,
countless
discussions and instances in the public domain where we've talked about Gujarat Lokayukta and how it's a big travesty. And I tell people who came out for Lokpal and who support BJP to look at Gujarat Lokayukta, which is really a betrayal of whoever believed in the idea of an ombudsman. So that's that. Not just Arvind Kejriwal, but Anna Hazare has spoken eloquently a number of times So maybe our good friend is not aware of the fact, but you can actually, I can send him details of that.
Here
when we're talking about right...
No, Arnab,
yes,
Romit is right. Arnab, Romit is right. The Aam Aadmi Party has soft-pedaled Narendra Modi. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows the Aam Aadmi Party has been a team B of the BJP. And they have been self-righteous, they have been sanctimonious. They have tried to ignore Narendra Modi's corruption.
We are not discussing Gujarat tonight, gentlemen.
They have not permit the let me tell you, but Romit is right. As Shazia Ilmi cannot afford to take a self-righteous stance here. They have played very convenient politics. The world knows that.
No, we are not discussing.
I'm just putting the facts.
We are not discussing. Gentlemen, can I Sanjay once say we are not discussing.
But Romit is right.
With respect, no, with respect, we are not discussing Gujarat tonight. I know we discuss Gujarat very often. What I'm actually seriously discussing is I was looking at some statistics, Mr. Devesh Thakur, and I found that in Rajasthan and Delhi, two states which are going to the elections, the margin of victory in 30-40% of the constituencies was 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. And I wonder here today, Mr. Devesh Thakur, if the impact of this right to reject could be that those groups of people, including the fence sitters, could just say right to reject, which actually makes things fairly complicated for the two political parties. When the margins are narrow, even 100, 200 people moving this way or that in a MLA constituency can make a difference. It can make a huge difference.
Yes, it can, certainly, Arnab. That's what I said. I told you we welcome this as an idea. Would we really like to see how this can be put into practice? And as you said, it's really going to make a difference, no doubt about it. But what would be the eventual outcome remains to be seen. That's all what I'm saying.
Absolutely. But you know, all of you have said...
we would prefer compulsory voting made more practically possible. Compulsory voting is made more practically possible. I would like to consider that as an option as well.
Well, last caller from Nagpur, and it's Sanjay. It's not Sanjay Jha. It's Sanjay calling in from Nagpur. Yes, Sanjay.
Yeah, Arnab, this is Sanjay from Nagpur. I am a die-hard fan of Times Now, and I really enjoyed the program and I'm a regular watcher. First of all, I would like to thank Anna ji, because of whom this particular right to reject has come, I feel, because the amount of people that had, participated is a result of that.
That's right.
I thank Anna for that. Secondly, I think the way Rahul barged in the press conference, I think he had the information before Times Now that the right to reject is already there. That's why he has come. And
I think it happened before. No, I must say, the right to reject from Supreme Court came in about 11:30. To be fair, Rahul Gandhi's press conference was closer to 2 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, I think both practiced the right of reject immediately after this result was done. And as a voter, I am very, very happy that this kind of a decision has been made. And I am very sure that political parties will have sleepless nights now.
Well, I think Satyapal Jain and Sanjay Jha and Devesh Thakur need to get together, and it would be wonderful, it would be heartwarming, I'd say, for all political parties to come together to give this chance to people. Satyapal Jain, voters are mature. They can decide. They won't just say right to reject for the sake of it. Will they, Mohandas Pai? People won't just go and say...
They want a choice.
They want a choice.
They want a choice, Arnab. They want a choice. It is democracy at work. They want to make the choices. And in case they're very angry, they'll make their voice felt.
And we should welcome it, right? We should all welcome it if they want that choice.
Absolutely.
And if you look at Tamil Nadu or Himachal Pradesh or Uttarakhand, it's two parties. Basically, the two parties. So now people will be forced, they will be putting pressure on the political parties to feel better candidates.
Okay.
Because it's one or the other and there's no real choice.
Okay.
And the selection process is so opaque.
1 minute, please. I've got some breaking news coming in, which will be interesting here right now. To all up. Before I wrap, I'm going to wrap this part of the panel up, but I'd like some of our political panelists just stay on. They may find it interesting, the news that we are getting here.